Holy crap, nobody's breaking this board. Chimera is back to Master Duel and it's stronger than ever. Today we're going to be looking at Chimera Fiendsmith and how crazy that deck is. Before anything else, thank you so much to everybody who joined the Rookie and Returner code. Helped me get these sleeves, some new friends, some new cards. Thank you so much. And today we're going to be looking at Chimera Fiendsmith. Let's jump into the deck and start talking about it. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at Chimera Fiendsmith with the new cards, with the new support, some new spicy techs, everything that you need to know in order to play the deck. And yes, there are evil heroes in this deck. If you don't know what it does, stick around because this deck is kind of spicy, to be honest. This is the deck. I've been having a lot of fun labbing it over again in Master Duel. It's not the cheapest. There's a lot of URs for the Fiendsmith engine, but I think this is a pretty cool direction to take the deck, and it's probably the most competitive way you can play this deck. So yeah, this is pretty amazing. As we do always, we're going to take a look at the deck, and then I'm going to show you some combos to show you how the deck performs. And yeah, if you like this type of content, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in, and of course, who added me as a friend. So this is Fiendsmith, and of course, Chimera and Azamina. This is also a new engine we're gonna be covering in this deck profile and combo tutorial. These new cards out of the new set are pretty insane. Already kind of hit in the TCG. Some cards are not even legal anymore. Like they've gone by pretty fast, yeah. So we're gonna be discussing that in a second. So let's dive into the deck list. Chimera Fiendsmith Azamina. We're playing one Fabled Lurie, and if you're a noob to Fiendsmith, stick around. If not, you can hang out or watch the combo tutorial at the end of the video. I'm going to be explaining what the cards do. If you don't know Fiendsmith, this card is extremely important. It's not a Fiendsmith card, it's a Fabled card, but the main starter of the Fiendsmith engine is Fiendsmith Tract, which adds any light fiend and then discards a card. Now, you add Fabled Lurie, which on being discarded, special summon itself in the graveyard as a mandatory effect. You use it to go into the Fiendsmith Link 1 Requiem, which can tribute itself to summon you Fiendsmith Engraver from the deck. Now, it's still not necessarily a one-card combo because you are missing a few bodies that are going to be released in the future, but on its own, it provides a significant advantage, and in this deck, it is very easy to get to. You don't need to activate Tract. You can access the Fiendsmith engine directly from the Chimera engine. So we're playing 2 Max C, 3 Ash, 3 Fua, 3 Infinite Impermanence, pretty standard stuff, 41 cards. Now, why do we play Evil Heroes? So, Sinister Necrom. First of all, it's a level 5 Fiend, which you can add off of Gazelle, if you already have Chimera Fusion in hand. This, in the graveyard, can banish itself to special summon an Evil Hero from the deck, which is going to be a Dusted Gold, which is a Light Fiend, which you can use to go up into Fiendsmith Requiem. You understand what I'm talking about? Great. So this is how you access the engine. You go up into the Baphomet Fusion, which can send any Fiend monster. You send the Necrom, you're going to see it. You access a Dusted Gold, and you access the Fiendsmith engine. 3 Gazelle, 3 Kotal, 2 Sword Knight. You don't need too many normal summons, just ways to get there. 1 Baphomet, that's all you need. And of course, Nightmare Apprentice, which is huge. Starter in this deck. Can help you go up into a Chaos Angel, which is really good. This plus this is an unaffected, indestructible Chaos Angel. 2 Engraver, because it's already limited. 1 Diabellstar for the Sinful Spoils engine. And 1 Diabells, which is an insane card. If you don't remember what this card does, first of all, now you're going to be able to use its first effect. If a Sinful Spoils card is in either graveyard, you can special summon this card for free. And we are playing a few of them. 3 Deception, which gets you on tributing a monster, the Hollowed Azamina, which is going to summon you one of your Azamina fusions from deck. Mu, which is an illusion that can grab any Sinful Spoils, Spell Trap, or Azamina card from your deck. And of course, the new Omni Negate Azamina Ilia Sylvia. Tribute this card, Omni Negate. You're going to see exactly how we summon them. And another spicy tech is Diabolica. Now, if this is sent to the graveyard, you can target a fiend in your grave and bring it back to your hand. So you can actually use it to recycle your Fiendsmith Engraver So you can, again, discard it, get Tracked, get Lurry, get Requiem, get the whole combo rolling, right? 3 Chimera Fusion, 1 Wanted, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 1 Sinful Spoils of Slumber Morianne. This card is great because you can summon Moo with it and then add this card to your hand. Now, afterwards, you're going to be able to use the Hollowed Azamina to send a Sinful Spoils card to summon the Ilia Sylvia. I know this is pretty fast. You're going to see it all in the combo. And then this will reset itself to the field if you control a 5 or higher illusion, which is going to be Sylvia and most of the time also Diabelle's. Yeah, this is the main deck, 41 cards, a lot of hand traps, some non-engine, some cards to push in for game. Really good. Extra deck, Chimera the King of Phantom Beasts, Berthamat, of course, these are your Chimera engine. Lacrima, already banned in the TCG, mainly because it burns your opponent for damage, which is super obnoxious. But this card is also incredible at getting access to Fiendsmith and giving you direct access to DDD Wave King High Caesar. Basically, this summons a Light Fiend that is banished or into the grave, or brings it back to the hand. Usually it's going to be Engraver, and then when you have 2 level 6 Fiends, which by the way, this one also is, it's already in your engine, you can make DDD Wave King High Caesar, which is a double summon negate. Absolutely incredible. The Azamina cards, Magnum the Reliever, besides being a really good card, this is also a Light Fiend. So if you used it, you want to go into Fiendsmith stuff, you can. Yeah. 1 Chimera, 1 Chaos Angel, DDD, we mentioned Requiem, Cross Sheep. You're going to see how that plays out. You're going to get your materials back from grave. Muckracker is pretty good in this deck. You got some fiends that you want to summon. Pretty self-explanatory. SP Sequence, which is your fusion, the way you fusion summon your Fiendsmith fusions. But this card can also summon any fiend fusion. So this can access Berthamat, which is huge. And of course, you have Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess. Let's jump into some replays and see how this deck plays out. Now, this is nothing super high rated, of course, but I did want to show you some of the technical plays of this deck. The way things work behind the scenes is pretty important just to get the feeling for how the deck performs, right? So we have Deception here that needs to tribute a monster. We don't need this Fualo, so we'll tribute it. This gets you to the Hollowed Azamina. Then it can sense the Deception and summon, just fusion summon, any Azamina monster. Now, this one, usually you would want to add Wanted here, and later on you're going to be able to get the trap that Book of Moons your opponent and comes back. Now, I want to get the Fiendsmith engine online before I commit to anything, right? You could play Moon of the Closed Heaven, by the way, in this deck. I didn't feel like I needed. You have so many ways to access the engine, and you want to prioritize things like Apollosa. You have so much buddies, so you don't necessarily need Moon, but if you want to, you could. Now, I add Diabelle's here because already I have a Sinful Spoils card in the graveyard. Now, no Imperms, no Evenly Matched for the rest of the combo, right? This is great. Now, this is how Necrom works. It's going to summon the Adjusted Gold, and then Fiendsmith Requiem. We get access to any Light Fiend. This means Fiendsmith. Yes, the Greensmith. Now, I'm going to equip the Requiem here just so I can get another card on the field so I can use it to send for Diabelle's and then summon it. Now, usually here, you would want to get the trap. I've been experimenting with this new card as well, Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. It's basically sort of Chimera Fusion. It doesn't come back though, right? It only comes back with monster effect. So replace it for the trap. Now we're going to go into Cross Sheep, and this is how we're going to get access to another normal summon which we haven't used yet, right? So we recycled the Hollowed Azamina before, so we can get access to a fusion monster to summon. Now we're going to summon our Omni Negate. So no Imperms, no Evenly, but also an additional Omni Negate. Cross Sheep is going to trigger here, summon back the Mirror Sword Knight, which we're going to use at the very end of the combo to get 2 more cards from the deck, which is crazy. Chimera Fusion. Cross Sheep is a beast. We're going to hand loop the opponent for 1 here. Yes, this is so good. Now, we're going to go ahead and link these 2 off for sequence. Light Fiend plus any monster equals fusion summoning. We're going to summon back 2 Light Fiends. It doesn't have to include Fiendsmith. This is why this card is so broken. And Lacrima, yeah, it's going to bring us back the Fiendsmith from the hand. Now we're going to use it get the tract, get the Lurie, get another body on the board, climb our way into an Appaloosa. So already no traps from hand, no quick plays. Omni Negate is already, and we're cooking. We're rolling with a combo. It's gonna be great. Yeah, Appaloosa. Now, silence, right? We haven't used Fiendsmith from Graveyard. It can summon itself by shuffling a Light Fiend, get it on the board, make a DDD, wave High King Caesar, 2 additional negates, of course. And I don't mind putting the Chimera Fusions here in the grave because I'm just going to use both of them in my opponent's draw phase. I'm just clearing out some room. And at the very end of the combo, I'm being locked here into Fusions, which I don't care because, of course, I'm not summoning anymore. Set Chimera Fusion, Deception sets itself back during the end phase. Chimera is going to fly away a card from our opponent's hand. And during the draw phase, chain 1 Chimera, summon back the Diabels, chain 2 Berfomet, summon back the Chimera. That way, my negate in the grave, like Swords Knight and Kodal, are live. And this is your board. Holy crap, nobody's breaking this board. As an additional bonus, we're going to get another combo here. Not ideally sequenced here, right? Because it's still low rated, so you kind of have to understand what you're actually doing. I'm still like labbing the deck. My opponents have like really cool sleeves though, so they're definitely Striker fans. We're going to start off with Deception. We're going to get our Azamina engine rolling once again. Sacred, hallowed Azamina. It was sacred in the OCG back in the day. We're going to get Murcielago. Murcielago is bat in Spanish, I think. Wanted. It's going to grab us the Bellstar. And now we're going to normal summon Gazelle here to start off our Chimera combo, but this also leads us, of course, to the Fiendsmith stuff, even though we already have access to that. We got Bestialed on the Engraver. No worries. We can access the engine in so many different ways. Now we have Tract, which can basically get us to discard the Lurie. We want the Lurie to hit the grave so we can get another body on the board. It's easy as that. We don't really care if we get Bestialed here, because Lacrima, Fiendsmith Lacrima, even though it's banned in the TCG, it can bring back your banished engraver. It doesn't matter. We haven't used it from grave yet. Now, we're going to use our engraver and, of course, our Gazelle to make a Chimera. Hand loop the opponent for 1 at the end phase. Gazelle is going to get us Diabels from the deck just to insulate us from anything else like quick plays, board breakers, stuff like that. Now, we're just going to summon it because we don't need to use any tricks here. It is very simple. Now we're going to go ahead, go into sequence here, which is going to be able to recycle some materials back into the deck to get us Lacrima. And Lacrima is going to be able to get us another engraver. It just special summons it to the field. It's so unbelievably broken. It really is. It's really just obnoxious. We're going to make DDD. This is probably a smaller combo here, even though you kind of get the access to all the engines, just like less bodies overall. We're going to bring back the Deception here from the graveyard to the hand. Now, Diabels. Go ahead and set the Sinful Spells of the White Forest. Again, you can just swap it for Marianne. It's much, much better. Now we're going to make a big, big, big Appaloosa to get our monster negates on the board, right? Nobody's nibbing us from here. Previously as well. Shuffle back the Moo. Bring back the Hollowed Azamina. Send the card that should be Morianne to the graveyard. Summon an additional Omni Negate. And yeah, this is the board. Omni Negate. 2 Summon Negates. 3 Monster Negates. And now during the end phase, we are fine with destroying Diabels because we're just going to bring it back with the Chimera that we have. Our opponent is already down a few cards. And yeah, we can just cook from here. Basically, bring back the Diabels just so you have that insulation. And, you know, your opponent is going to bluff you. And we just negate DDD with that, right? We can, of course, hit our opponent from 12. But yeah, they set just to bait the Diabels, but it doesn't really work. Fiendsmith comes back. Soul Servant, that's fine. Now we can use Diabels to clear out the rest of the board. We can set a card to trigger Diabels, pop the field, and yeah, just continue killing from there. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Chimera, Fiendsmith, Azamina, new to Master Duel. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.